So how about this for a surprise? We all kind of assumed that it was going to be Jameis Winston starting for the New Orleans Saints, but it turns out it's going to be Taysom Hill. And I'm personally surprised by this. There is still kind of maybe a chance that Jameis will get some playing time, but Adam Schefter reported that he won't get any playing time, and personally, I believe Adam Schefter, so, he tends to be pretty reliable. So I'm just going to assume that Taysom Hill is going to get every snap, and I find it very interesting. So I want to make a film study and sort of break down what he does and what he's going to bring to the New Orleans Saints offense. First, let's talk about a play like this, where it's going to be a running play. It's a quarterback run, and of course, the advantage in a quarterback run is that you don't have to waste a blocker just as someone handing off the ball. Like, as you see, there's no halfback in there, so they have the extra blocker on this play, which is obviously very helpful. And the blocking concept, the way it works, is that they're going to have their left guard and left tackle double team an interior defensive lineman. Left tackle gets off the block, will block a linebacker. You're also pulling your right guard all the way around. You also have a tight end who's kind of doing a sort of a fancy block on another linebacker. So that's how this works. Once this ball snaps, you notice the tight end, it was a hard block for him to make, but he wasn't quite able to make it. So ideally, he would like to sort of be able to push him further away, but now he can't. So 57, he's going to try to basically secure the edge, which is very important on these types of plays. You don't want to let the quarterback who's running with the football get to the edge. But Hill's smart enough that he can just run through the gap, and he's able to pick up a solid gain. And Hill just is able to see a hole pretty well. He's a pretty smart player. He's a pretty good runner, and so that's one of the key things that he can do. This plays another one. You have 3 one-on-one blocks, and you're going to pull your left tackle over, and then Hill's going to run to the right side of the screen, which is his left. So that's the way this play is going to work. Hill takes the snap, and he starts running in this direction, and it's really well blocked. Again, New Orleans, they have an incredible offensive line, so they can make these types of blocks. The one downside is you see 33. He's gotten in position pretty well. He's outran an offensive lineman, which is going to happen. You can make these reads quickly. So he's going to move over, and he's now in position where he can try and get in the way of Taysom Hill. However, Hill is able to make a move on him and pick up a 9-yard gain on that one. So even when someone makes a good play, it's often not enough. And really, the key way to beat a quarterback who's running with the football is you have to know your assignment. Everyone has to be very locked into their own gap assignment, and you have to be patient, because sometimes you see a hole and you just naturally want to shoot through it to try and make a play. But against a quarterback who runs, there's an extra blocker, and there almost is never going to be a play where no one is blocking you. So you have to be very aware, and you have to be very smart. It's going to take a smart defense to beat a quarterback who runs the football. And I'm not sure if Atlanta is that defense, but they have been playing a lot better under Raheem Morris, so maybe they are. I think that's why New Orleans decided to wait so long before announcing it was going to be Taysom Hill that's going to start, because they wanted to give Atlanta as little amount of time as possible to figure out exactly how to stop him. Although one interesting thing as well is just that Atlanta, they're going to play New Orleans again relatively soon, and I wouldn't be shocked if Breeze is still out, so maybe they'll get a second attempt at Hill later on. Also worth mentioning, it's not just the running that he can do well. He can throw the football, although usually he throws the football because things are set up because of his running game. Like on this play, notice how Tampa Bay is fully preparing to stop a potential run. That's what they're prepared for here. It's not going to be a run. It's going to be a passing play on this one. And really what Tampa Bay is doing is they just have one-on-one matchups for every New Orleans player who's an eligible receiver. And other than that, everyone else is going to rush the passer and also try to contain and make sure that they're not giving up something obvious to Hill. And since Hill has a receiver who he likes who's going to get open, that's where he's going to look. The pressure doesn't come, again, because Tampa Bay was making sure to contain Hill in case it was a run, and Hill makes an easy catch for a big completion to Jared Cook. And again, part of the reason why that worked out was because Devin White, who was covering Cook, he's focused on the run. He steps in a little bit and then realizes it's a passing play. That's almost something you'll see like in an end zone situation when you have to be aggressive. You have to be aggressive to stop Hill, and that can cause you to get out of position. Another thing is that you can't really play man against Taysom Hill. If you play man coverage against Taysom Hill, he will burn you by running with the football. Like right here, it's a cover one man play, so there is a blitz coming, and so, again, pretty basic coverage, but you can't run this coverage against Hill because he will beat you. Watch how Hill takes a snap. Nothing's open right away, but he sees a little opening in the offensive line. He runs through it, picks up a huge gain, and hurdles a guy. That's what he can do. He's very good in open space. And so if you are going to play man at any point, your offensive line, or excuse me, your defensive line has to make sure they don't allow Hill to get outside the pocket, or it's going to be trouble. One last thing I want to talk about, I find this very interesting, is that it is worth mentioning Hill is a pretty big piece of this puzzle, and I'm assuming that Hill isn't going to be playing much special teams if he's going to be the starting quarterback, and obviously he can't be a wide receiver or tight end because he's playing quarterback. Like, watch this play. It's a cover 2 man play. He's running a route where he's going to try and get over the middle. That's the way this play works. It's nothing too fancy. Breeze takes the snap. Hill starts running, and Hill's running a pretty good route. I mean, you see the Chicago player. He doesn't know which way Hill could be cutting, and the safety is also in the area, but he hasn't figured it out either. So, pretty good stem portion of the route. This isn't anything crazy, but a good start. And then he's able to use his physicality and his speed to get open, and then he continues running fast and gets into the end zone for a touchdown. He's a freak athlete. He really is. He's one of the best athletes alive. I mean, honestly. So having him in as quarterback, it's very interesting. I think regardless of if you think this is the correct move or the incorrect move, it's certainly the most fun move, and that's saying something because Jameis Winston is a ton of fun to watch as well. I do think that what Hill does outside of being quarterback does kind of factor in a little bit, right? Because now if it was close between Winston and Hill, let's say you felt equally good about both of them, well then you'd have Winston play quarterback because Hill does a ton else well. But obviously, getting an advantage at starting quarterback is worth way more than having a good special teams guy who can, play solid tight end and wide receiver. Honestly, I like this move. I think it's a great move. I actually made a video talking about how Jameis Winston's going to do as a starter. That doesn't really look too good right now because he's not going to be a starter. So that one did not age too well. But this one hopefully will age better. I think he's going to be good. I think he's a really good player. And one of the things I wanted to bring up as well, something that I brought up in my Jameis Winston video, is that a lot of what the Saints require is just these short passes that are low level of difficulty. Well, Hill can do the low level of difficulty passes as well. So, it's a team that doesn't rely on their quarterback too much, but I think Hill will add a lot to the offense that Jameis Winston wouldn't. So, at the time, I kind of just assumed Jameis was going to be the starter. I think there was some real issues with Jameis Winston potentially being a starter. I think this makes them a better team, having Taysom Hill. I really do. Because I think that Taysom Hill is not going to overthrow someone by 10 yards probably like Jameis Winston would. Maybe he will. We don't know. He hasn't thrown the ball that much, but I don't think he will. That's just my opinion. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from you. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.